Please join me in Gasho. Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs. Good morning and welcome to a special Maui relief service that we're holding. We are making collections today that will be sent directly to the Honpa Honganji missions of Hawaii to help in their efforts with relief efforts for Maui and more specifically for Lahaina Buddhist Temple. And I will talk more about this as we proceed. 皆さんおはようございます。ようこそ本日の特別マウイ・ラハイナ復興支援法要にご参加していただきました。まず最初に黙想と念仏で今日のお参りを始めたいと思います。This service is a joint service between English and Japanese, so there will be some Japanese interspersed as well. And we will begin this morning's service with a moment of silent meditation, followed by the recitation of the name of the Buddha, or the Nembutsu. Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs. Do you all have the red books? この赤い聖典持ってますか？今日はこの赤い聖典を使います。We're going to be using the red books, and we will be starting off with the homage and three treasures, and you will find that in this red book on page, where was that? Page 1. And page, I guess, 1 and 2. The English we'll be reading first on page 2. And I'm just going to bring it up on the screen for those of you who are joining by Zoom. So we'll do read the English first and then Japanese afterwards. 三期右衛門を英語と日本語でいただきたいと思います。赤い聖典の1ページと2ページに載っています。まず最初に英語で。Hard it is to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult it is to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear them. If we do not gain emancipation in this present life, we may not be free from ill-faring in the ocean of births and deaths for kalpas. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures. We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. Everyone? We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. Everyone? We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriads of kalpas, hard it is to hear such excellent and profound teachings. Now we are able to hear and receive them. Let us try to understand the Tathagata's teachings. ナモアミダブス。ナモアミダブス。それでは日本語でいただきたいと思います。We'll be reading this in Japanese, and there's actually a romanized Japanese version of it on the bottom of page 1 and the top of page 2 as well. So if you don't read Japanese and you want to follow along, you can see it in this red seiten. 三期へも人参受けがたし今すでに行く仏法聞きがたし今すでに聞く好み根性に向かってどせずんばさらにいずれの章に向かってか好みをどせん大衆もろともに指針に参謀に帰依し立てまするべし自ら仏に帰依し立てまするまさに願わくは主情とともに大道を体現して無常意を起こさん自ら法に帰依し立てまするまさに願わくは主情とともに深く胸像に入りて知恵海のごとくなら自ら僧に帰依し立てまするまさに願わくは主情とともに大衆を通りして一切無限なら無常人人未明の方は百千万号にも愛をことかたし我今検問し授事することを得たり願わくは如来の真実義を消し立てますらん。ナマンダブス、ナマンダブス、ナマンダブス。Next, we'll have the sutra chanting. So we will be chanting first the Sambujo. Sambujo is a symbolic calling to Amida, the Buddha of infinite light and boundless compassion, to Shakyamuni, the historical Buddha, and to the Buddhas of the 10 quarters, announcing the beginning of the service. And you'll find the Sambujo on page 8 of your red seiten, page 8 and 9. You have the one with the musical notes on page 9. And then following that, we'll be chanting the Sambutsuge, which you'll find on page 46, or 47 is the actual chanting. I will bring it up on the screen for those at home. When we begin the Sambutsuge on page 47, if I can ask those here in the temple to come up and offer incense as we proceed with the chanting. それでは、引き続き言行、三部上並びに三仏下をいただきたいと思います。まず最初に三部上は、8ページに載っています。8ページと9ページに載っています。そしてその後に、三仏下は46ページに載っています。そして三仏下を唱え始めますと、皆様のお焼香をお願い申し上げます。Namo Andops, Namo Andops, Namo Andops, Namo Andops. Pujo
lunch starts at 11:30. Okay, we'll see you then. Bye.
Please join me as we read the English translation, which you'll see at the bottom of page 8 of your Red Satan. We respectfully call upon Amida Tathagata to enter our place of practice as we joyfully scattering flowers of welcome. We respectfully call upon Shakyamuni Tathagata to enter our place of practice, joyfully scattering flowers of welcome. We respectfully call upon the Tathagatas of the 10 directions to enter our place of practice, joyfully scattering flowers of welcome. This morning, we have gathered here for this Maui Lahaina special relief service. We faithfully recite the Nemuts and humbly join our hands in Gasho. May the fragrance of incense teach us the purity of our intentions. May the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of the glory of the Dharma. And may the lights that burn brightly upon the altar lead our thoughts to Amida's eternal light of wisdom and boundless compassion that dispels the darkness of our ignorance. 本日ここにうやしく産物牽制の奨学を仰ぎ慎みてマウイラハイナ仏教会復興支援法要を言収す如来へ向の真実心をもって法恩の誠をいたし仏徳を賛嘆し立てまつる願わくは如来の大慈大悲心をもって無料の功徳一切主情の上に栄光を下回らんことを南無帰依仏南無帰依法南無帰依僧高原無量大乗修行 그도 괜찮으냐 인여거자 쇼부드 세가이 무가게 무주세스도 공묘시죠 행시조곡 여세조지 이진난료 료가사붓 오그너다이치 거식이며 노저조셋 오그녀나이옴 이무도서 가노아이미 도다스이사이 지모라이쇼 이네드조조 이노가곡 예라그안노 고부드시며 제가신쇼 어드가노히 니기쇼쇼역 지보세성 시에무게 조려시성 지가신교 계려신시 쇼그도그주 라여쇼지 닌주게 세이사이 노드보다이신 오조 아나로 너만업스 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 너만업스. Now we're going to read the English translation on this red Satan. It's actually on page 112, or it's also on the screen as well. So we're going to read this English translation. Your face shines in great splendor, boundless, wondrous dignity, such the greatness of your light, beyond all comparison. Brightness of the sun and moon and the shining money jewel, when compared to your brilliance, seem to us like blackest ink. Tathagata's countenance transcends all comparison. The great voice of awakening resounds throughout the 10 quarters. Your precepts, learning, effort, meditation, wisdom are virtues beyond all compare, ultimate, supreme, and rare. Your deep meditation has fathomed all the Dharma sea to the limits and the depth of all things the Buddhas teach. Ignorance, anger, and greed, the world-honored one has none. Like a lion among men, measureless your great virtue. Vast are your great virtuous deeds, wisdom deep and so sublime. Your radiant luminous light shakes all the world's foundations. When I become a Buddha equal to the Dharma King, I will transcend birth and death, liberating all beings. My giving, disciplined mind, precepts, patience and effort, meditation and wisdom shall be supreme, unsurpassed. When I attain Buddhahood, everywhere fulfill my vow, bringing to all those in fear great peace and tranquility.
There are no myriad Buddhas beyond measure, beyond count, and
great sages numberless, like the grains of Ganges sand. I will honor each of them equally, accepting none. Even more importantly, I will seek the supreme way. Even though all Buddha worlds are countless as Ganges sands, even though all lands and realms are boundless without measure, yet my light shall reach them all and illumine every place. Such shall be my perfect work, such my power infinite. When I attain Buddhahood, my land will be first and best, place of practice transcendent, its people sublime and rare. My land is like nirvana, beyond all comparison. In my sincere compassion, I will enlighten all beings. All who come from 10 quarters land to attain pure, joyful mind, peace, and great tranquility.
Be my witness, Buddha, please.
Confirm my sincere.
Now that
I have made my vows, I will strive to fulfill them. Buddhas of the 10 quarters, with your wisdom uninhibited, may all these honored ones know my deepest intentions. Even though my body must bear great pain and suffering, I will persevere and strive patiently without regret. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So once again, good morning everyone, and welcome to this special service as we gather for the relief efforts for Maui and Lahaina. And as I was thinking about this morning's service, I looked up, so here, there's two pictures here. One is of our temple. Let's see, maybe if I, so this is the first Steve Buddhist temple, which was built in 1928 on First Avenue and Moncton Street, just south of First Avenue and Moncton Street. You can see that there, right? And then this one here is the Lahaina Buddhist temple, which was actually founded in 1904. 本日はこのラハイナの復興支援のお参りということで、まず最初にですね、この、私たちのお寺と割と、重なる歴史があるわけなんですね。まあこれがスティーブストン仏教会1928年に、建てられたですね、ファーストアベニューとモンクトンストリートにあった、スティーブストン仏教会であり、そしてここがラハイナのお寺、今回の大火事で焼かれたラハイナ仏教会ですね。ラハイナ仏教会は1904年 に建てられたんですね。カナダ教団、一番最初にカナダでお寺が建てられたのがバンクーバー仏教会。で、バンクーバー仏教会は1905年に建てられたんですね。だからそれより1年前にもうすでにハワイでは、この浄土真宗が広がってたわけなんですね。So, our Canadian history actually goes back to 1905 with the building of the Vancouver Buddhist Temple on Powell Street. And so this Lahaina temple is actually a year older than our oldest temple in Canada. And the comparisons between our temple and Lahaina, I found it quite interesting because, first of all, both were small villages that were in a remote area. So today, it's very easy for us, even if you come from Vancouver, there are bridges that you come across. But back in 1928, when the first temple was built, I think they were still using the ferry to get across to Vancouver. I think. I could be wrong. But I know in the early years, they talked about, I've read of people having to take a ferry over to Vancouver to go to the hospital in Vancouver. So, but regardless, Steveston was still a very remote corner of the lower mainland. And similarly, this Lahaina is in a very remote area of Maui. And it was based, Lahaina is a small village that is surrounded, I don't know if today it still is, but back then it was mainly sugar plantations, sugarcane plantations that surrounded Lahaina. And so the vast majority of the Japanese immigrants who lived around there were in the sugarcane industry, living on these plantations. Their quality of life perhaps wasn't the best, but the temple served as sort of a hub for the community. And very similarly, when we think of the Steveston Buddhist Temple, of course here was a fishing village, so the vast majority of the members were in the fishing industry, and the temple also served as a hub for the community, both spiritually as well as culturally. And so, このラハイナとこのスティーブストンのですね、重なるというところは、まず両方ともですね、だいぶ、離れたところにあったわけなんですね。ラハイナもマウイの一番、生きづらいというか難しく、ラハイナまで行くときにですね、道があるんですけど、すごい険しい道なんですよ。私も2008年にマウイ行ったことあるんですけど、T シャツまであるんですよ。I survived the highway to Lahaina っていう T シャツがあるんですね。すごい、道のりが、曲がる、険しい道があって、そういう、不便なところにあったわけですね。で、昔スティーブストンも、このバンクーバーからしたら非常に不便にあったところ。で、ラハイナの場合は、サトウキビ畑が主にその農家の方が中心にその仏教界に巻いてたわけですね。ここは、漁師の方々がですね、中心にスティーブストンに巻いてたわけです。But there is a major difference between Lahaina and Steveston when I think about it, is that as you saw in those two pictures, the Steveston temple was black and white, and the Lahaina was the one in color. And that's because in Hawaii, their properties were not confiscated. So that temple was able to survive World War II. Whereas here in Canada, all of the Japanese-Canadian properties were taken away from us. So therefore, and the Japanese Canadians were sent to internment camps. And that never happened in Hawaii. And so in Canada, after World War II, the Japanese Canadians had to start off basically from nothing. And so our temple, many of you know, we started off again after World War II on Chatham Street for about 10 years, and then finally we settled here in 1963. But because they never had that in Hawaii, the Lahaina temple was able to continue right from 1904 to the present. And when I think about all the events that have gone on in our temple that has brought community together, I'm sure it's very same in Lahaina, where all throughout the many, many years, throughout the decades, the various events, both happy occasions and sad occasions, were a time where the community would gather. And they are, at this time, in a very serious situation where the whole village of Lahaina has burnt down. And in truth, they're still not certain whether or when or if they will be able to rebuild on their location again. The last I heard, people are still not allowed to go into that area. I guess there's a lot of contaminants in the ground, etc. So until they get an okay, they are not allowed back there. The two things that apparently survived the fire, so the temple that you saw in the picture was completely burnt down. But there is another separate building that housed their columbarium, their no kotsudo. And so that building actually remained intact, as well as the yagura, which is the stand they use for bon odori, the dance. That miraculously survived. I don't know how that survived. I believe it's a wooden structure, but I'm not sure. But those two things survived. Now, they don't know what the condition of the urns inside the columbarium are, because people have not been able to go back there yet. But the building itself, you can see on the Google photos that that building is intact. この、ラハイナの仏教会がですね、スティーブストンのことも考えると、長年の間多くの方々に支えになって、心の、支えとともに、日系社会のですね、いろんな行事が行われたと思うんですね。で、私たちの仏教会の場合は、ハワイと違って、その第二次世界大戦に、カナダの日系人は強制収容所に送られたんですね。で、全ての、土地とか取り上げられたわけなんです。だからカナダの場合は、新しく、戦後ですね、すべてゼロから始めなければならなかったわけなんですが、ハワイの場合そういうことがなかったので、ずっと1904年から今まで続けられたわけなんですね、同じところで。で、この火事によってですね、いまだにこの復興をいつできるかということがわからない状態であります。まだ人が行けない状態なので、ただ写真から見ると残っているのが納骨堂と盆踊り櫓の2つだけが残ったっていうんですね。写真見るとお寺自体はもう全部焼かれてないわけなんです。ただその仏像阿弥陀様だけは、そこにいた開教師前日にですね、弘中愛さんという方が、隣町のお寺に避難して、阿弥陀様仏像だけは持っていったっていう話を聞きました。So the only thing that from the temple that survived apparently is the statue of Amida, which the minister who was there, Ai Hironaka, he took that statue with him. He and his family were able to get out the day before the fire worsened. So he got out with the clothes on his back, and so he and his family are now at a different temple in Hawaii. And we're trying to help them out as well. But anyways, through all this, when I think of the Buddha's teachings, we talk about boundless compassion. And compassion comes in many forms, and it is that will to try to help. And there's a very famous Buddhist story. It comes from what we call the Jataka tales. Jataka tales are tales of morality, and they are often said to be of tales of the Buddha in previous lives. Many of these tales have to do with animals, and there's a very famous tale of this parrot. And it was said that this parrot was a very kind and gentle parrot that was always thinking of the rest of the animals in the forest. And one day it said that there were two gods that wanted to test the resolve of this parrot. And so they set the forest on fire. And the parrot, because it can fly, is able to fly away. But as it starts flying away, it notices those animals that can't fly away being trapped in the forest. And so the parrot, trying to figure out what it can do to save the other animals, it goes to the nearby lake and it dives into the water. And then as it dives into the water, there will be water droplets that stick to its feather. And it would fly back over the fire and flap its wings, and a few droplets might drop. And it would continue doing this over and over and over. And so the gods are looking at this thinking, well, there's no way that parrot is going to be able to do anything. It's a very futile effort. And so they come down, they disguise as a different animal, and they ask the parrot, what are you doing? And the parrot says, I'm trying to save the other animals. And the gods look at the parrot and say, don't you know that your efforts are futile? And the parrot says to them, you know, as long as I have an ounce of strength left in me, I will continue to do this. And this is a tale that's told in the Jataka tales. And it's a tale of what we call boundless compassion. It's not so much whether your efforts are going to be great or are they going to produce something of grandeur, but every little droplet makes a difference. And so every little thought that we have makes a difference. In this world today, there's so many hardships going on throughout the world, and it's very easy for us to become numb by all that's going on. And we might think, oh, you know, what good is this little bit going to do? But in fact, every little bit helps. And that's the heart of compassion that we learn through the Buddha Dharma, in that we try to help in whatever capacity we can to help those in need. このラハイナの復興に対して今英語でジャータカ物語の一節を話させていただいたわけなんですが、あるこのジャータカテアの物語っていうのはよく動物を中心に話されるんですね。で、道徳的なものもあるわけなんですが、この話ではある時に、オウムがですね、鳥が森にいて非常に優しい鳥という噂を聞いて、ある時、これヒンズー教もかなってくるわけなんですけど、ヒンズー教の神様たちがですね、試してみようと。で、その森に火をつけるわけなんですね。で、オウムは飛べるわけなので避難することできるんですけど、下を見ると飛べない動物たちが非常に困ってるわけですね。周りに火がついて。で、このオウムが何とかして助けたいと思って、近くにある湖まで行って自分の体を濡らしてですね、 舵の上に行ってパタパタパタパタと羽をですね、動かして、一滴二滴が落ちるわけなんですが、それを見る神様たちが、いやこんな無駄なことはどう考えても何も意味がないんじゃないかなと。で、オウムにですね、神様たち自分の姿を変えてですね、聞くわけなんです。こんな無駄な行動、何の意味もないんじゃないかっていうと、オウムは自分が力ある限りはこれを続けるっていう、慈悲の話を言ってるわけなんですね。で、今の世の中を見ると、世界中にあちらこちらにですね、ひどい、戦争も起こったり、災難もあちこちにあるわけなんです。で、それを見ると、私が何をやっても無駄だなと思われることもあるかもしれないんですけど、私たちにとっては仏教の大慈悲というのは、自分のできること、一つでもいいからできることあればやるべきだっていうことですね。この、ジャータカ物語。ですから今日はこのラハイナのためにですね、私たちの心だけでも、少しの行動だけでも、するべきだということで今日お参りさせていただいているわけですね。So, as I mentioned, it's really our spirit more than anything else, trying to help out to the best of our abilities. So I thank you all for joining us for this service. And we're going to just close with the singing of the Gata Ondok-san. Let me just try this. Let me just bring it up on the screen here. Just give me a couple seconds for those who are... The Ondok-san is also in this red section. Well, you can see it on the screen there. I've been having major problems with my music on here. I will try it one more time. I hope this works, but I'm not. Wait, what's this one? Oh, maybe. Where is that? Sorry, we'll try this one more time. I don't know why the sound doesn't come out. Oh, please be seated. Hey, what do you know it worked? Okay. Sorry, I'm just gonna, stop this. Okay. And, sorry everyone. So I thank you all for coming and joining us today. 皆さん、ようこそ、参加していただきました。We are going to have light refreshments in the lobby, so for those of you who are here, please stick around for some tea, and some of the ladies have made some baking, so please enjoy that, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Again, thank you for attending. 皆さんありがとうございました。For those on Zoom, thank you for joining us. Coming events, next week is just a regular Sunday, and then the week following that is our November Shotsuki monthly memorial service. Okay? And for those of you who have been taking the lecture series, I was going to start this Tuesday, but I'm behind, and so we're not going to start till November. November 7th is the first time, okay? Because I was going to originally start this week, coming next, and then the following Tuesday is Halloween, so I was going to skip that anyways, because we still have kids that come around. So we'll start on November 7th, okay? Thank you. No one else. No one.
Thank you, Sensei.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Is there anybody here at the temple that, in our newsletter, we said if you wanted to donate online and we could help you with that. If there's anybody, just let me know and I could help you out with that. Okay?
Thank you, Sensei. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.